Viktor Hovland, let's take a look at his move. In the setup, I want to point out his alignment. It's definitely not straight at all. It's aiming quite far to the right. He does this to offset his club path getting too far across himself or too far over the top or too cutty, because every time he shifts his alignment, he's just moving his club path. It doesn't have to be straight towards the target. It just has to work for yourself. This is actually pretty good for Viktor. Sometimes you'll see him aiming significantly far right with his feet, and the golf ball will start so far left that you're asking yourself, where the hell is he aiming? But like I said before, it doesn't actually matter where you're aiming as long as it works for you, and it clearly does work, as he just won the Memorial Tournament. As he takes the club away, I want to point out two things that I think are quite important in this golf swing. The club face is quite closed, and also how his leg starts to straighten so that he can get his right hip pocket to turn around his body. Whenever you keep the flex in your knee there, it's very difficult to get that hip to work around yourself. Try it for me. If you try set up with your right leg, if you're a right-handed golfer with a lot of knee flex in it, and you try to make a backswing, it's very difficult to actually rotate your hips. As he takes it up to the top of the swing, those hands get very far behind him. That left arm gets across his chest, or pinned across his chest pretty early. And that right leg continues to straighten and rotates around his body. As he gets to the top, you'll see that the arm structure actually works towards a little bit more vertical the closer he gets to the top of the swing. And he does get a little bit of a move where the hand path will shoot out in that direction there in the downswing. I want to also point out the wrist angle here. His wrist angle is quite significantly bowed, meaning that it's going to close this club face. As he takes it into transition, watch this hand path work out slightly, but the more important thing is just watch where the sweet spot of this club head works. It works significantly in this direction here. It also actually works up a little bit, and it goes around his body. That's essentially what shallowing is. You'll see that once he gets the club into this position here, that he's done an incredible job of being able to shallow the shaft. You'll see that that right elbow is in front of him, as we can see a lot of his t-shirt between his elbow joint there, meaning that his right shoulder, has gone into external rotation. Now what that does is it opens up the club face, but because Viktor has a very strong club face anyway, he's able to offset that closed club face by shallowing it a significant amount. As he gets into the hitting zone, you'll notice that he gets really good hip rotation because he shallowed it really, really well. He does have a tendency to get his hand path a little too high or too vertical, and he gets into too much right side bend, meaning that the chest works behind the golf ball. But his coach works on that a lot with him, and that's sort of been his focus for a few years. But clearly you'll see that he gets into a really solid impact position there and a very passive release there. There's not like the toe has gone over the heel at all. And you'll notice that the golf ball started very far left of his alignment. But as I said, alignment doesn't matter if it's straight or not. It just matters if it works for you.